Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. If you're old here and you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Either way, please subscribe. So today's video is going to be all about housing for non-freshmen at Barnard. So if you haven't checked it out already, I made a freshman housing video. And in that freshman housing video, I kind of rank the freshman housing options. I talk about what each dorm is like, all that kind of stuff. But this video is going to be about how housing works when you're not a freshman at Barnard and kind of a review of all of the different options of where you have to live as a non-freshman at Barnard. So if you like this video, please like it, comment below with any questions or comments, and let's get right into this. So a little disclaimer, obviously I'm only one person, so I can only have lived in so many dorms. And also I went abroad for my whole junior year, so I only actually lived in 2 different dorms besides my freshman dorm. But I had friends who lived in other dorms, so I'll kind of speak to each dorm to the best of my ability. As you become not a freshman at Barnard, you are more than likely going to have to form a housing group for housing selection because a lot of the options are suite style, so you pick as a group. And the way it works is every group gets one lottery number. Basically, how do I say this? Okay, so everyone in the housing groups gets a lottery number, and then whoever's lottery number is the best, that's the group's number. And so you pick as a group. And how it worked for me is you get a time slot in accordance with your housing number. So like the best number will be Monday at 9 a.m. because that means you get the first choice and you have all the options available. And then maybe like the worst housing number would be like Friday at 3 p.m. because you're the last person to pick. So it really is just chance as far as picking goes because it's just a lottery number. And the way we had it, it was a little screen and you could see like the dimensions of the room in each suite and pick from there. So that's kind of the process. And say you want a 6-person suite, but you have a group of 3 friends, so together you guys are 4 people. What a lot of people will do is they'll go in your Barnard Facebook group and be like, hey, we're looking for 2 more people to join our group to make a 6-person suite. So there's a lot of combining with other people that you might not know to make the perfect group. So yeah, that's kind of the process of picking and how it works when you're not a freshman. So I'll start with the dorm closest to Barnard campus, which would be the 600s dorms. You can live in 600, 616, or 620. And those 3 dorms are all literally right next door to Barnard's campus. If you live on a certain wing of the quad as a freshman, your window actually looks out to the 600s housing options. It's right near Shake Shack. If you need a point of reference, it's on the same like side of the street as Shake Shack. All of these dorms are suite styles. These suites are really nice, are a mix of doubles and singles. I think sometimes the 4-person suites are actually 4 singles, but typically the 6-person suites are 2 doubles and 2 singles. Yeah, because that would be 6 people. I got you. And yeah, they have a bathroom with a shower, a kitchen with a fridge, an oven, a dining room, table, no dishwasher or anything. I don't think there's typically a common area in your specific suite in the 600s, but there's a common area for the floor, if that makes sense. So whatever other suites are on the floor, you all share a common area. And there's elevators or stairs if you live on a lower floor. And yeah, that's the 600s. I think it's a great option. I think it's pretty feasible for a sophomore to get a spot in the 600s. You're definitely more likely if you're a junior or senior because you'll pick earlier, but it is a good option for sophomores. So Plimpton is a little bit further off campus. I think it's on 120th or 121st in Amsterdam. I never lived in Plimpton. I also never lived in the 600s, if that wasn't clear. But Plimpton's pretty nice. I feel like that's more of a sophomore vibe. You're gonna get more sophomores in Plimpton. Some of the floors have recently been renovated. I forget which floors. I feel like it's 7 and 8 or 8 and 9 are newer. So those are obviously nicer. There's laundry. I forgot to say there's laundry in the 600s building and in the Plimpton building in the basement. Most of Plimpton suites are a mix of doubles and singles, just like the 600s. You'll get a kitchen, a dining area, a bathroom. If you're a sophomore, it's probably pretty likely that you'll live in Plimpton, I would say. This is the furthest from campus. Pretty far away, I would say a 20-minute walk from campus. It's near Morningside Park. I don't know the exact address, I can leave it here. CG is where I was going to live as a junior before I got into my study abroad program. I had picked housing in CG. I personally love CG. I do not mind, or I didn't mind being far away from campus. Like, that wasn't deterring me at all. I kind of liked that because it felt more like you are living in the city. It's more like independence, like feels more like an apartment vibe. The floors are hardwood. You get a dishwasher. Almost positive it's the only Barnard dorm that you would get a dishwasher. The rooms are so beautiful. I had a friend who lived in CG the year I was going to my junior year. Her single room was huge and it was so beautiful. It had these big windows. Oh my gosh, it was the nicest room I have seriously ever seen at Barnard. With CG, you're more likely to get an all single suite. So if you and your housing group is not wanting to have doubles as a upperclassman, I would recommend that you try for CG, but I think CG is pretty competitive. One, because there's fewer suites available to Barnard students, and two, because I do think it's pretty desirable. Despite its far location from campus, I think people do really like it because it's just so beautiful. And you have your own common space in the suite, which is very rare for Barnard dorms because you have, you know, the kitchen with the dishwasher, and then you have like an actual big living room area with like couches, seatings, you can put a TV there, a dining room table, like a full table that fits, and then singles. And the bathrooms are pretty unique. It's kind of a weird setup. It's 2 bathrooms but 1 entrance. So you walk into the bathroom and there's a sink and a shower, and then you go further and there's a door, and behind that door is a toilet and another shower. So there's actually 2 showers but basically 1 bathroom, if that makes sense. Kind of weird. So yeah, I'm personally a big fan of CG, but if the location deters you, or you know you're gonna have a lot of morning classes and you don't want a long walk, maybe don't do it. I should also mention, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, there is a shuttle. So if it's late at night and you don't want to walk and you don't want to pay for a Lyft or an Uber back to campus or back to your dorm, whatever, you can call the shuttle and it will come pick you up, or you'll just catch it on the route. It's like a bus basically, just it stops at different dorms at different times. So that's really awesome. I've taken the shuttle a few times. So 110 is on 110th Street. It's near Cathedral Parkway. Trying to give a point of reference. If you know where Vitamin Shop or Chipotle, any of that kind of stuff near campus, that's where 110 is. I lived in 110 as a sophomore and I loved it. So it's the second furthest dorm from campus. I really liked it. There's very few Barnard housing options in 110. So a lot of your neighbors are actually going to be just regular New York tenants. And we had an 8-person suite. And it was 4, oh my gosh, maybe it was 9-person. Yeah, it was a 9-person suite because it had 4 doubles and 1 single. We had 2 full bathrooms with toilet and shower, a kitchen, no dishwasher, just fridge, oven, microwave. And we did have a living room area, like a common space, a separate room that had a couch in it. My double was really nice. My double had a sink in it, so me and my roommate could like brush our teeth in our room. It was just a sink like that. No like toilet or anything. It's definitely, the lower floors are noisy. We lived on the 2nd floor. You have to get used to the traffic because it's in kind of a busy area because it's right near Cathedral Parkway. So it's right before Broadway splits into West End. So it's a little bit busier. So if you are going to live on a lower floor at 110, just know it's going to be louder than a dorm on campus, or even like a CG dorm or something like that. Also, this was like a cool fun feature. We had a phone in our dorm, so if people wanted to come up, it was like a real apartment, they would just ring you and be like, hey, blah blah blah's here, do you want to bring them up? Or if you had food delivered, you could have food delivered to your door, whereas with a Barnard dorm you have to go down and get it. These people could come up because it was basically like a real apartment. So yeah, and there's laundry in the basement for this one too. Seoul Tower. I do know there's a new dorm that didn't exist when I went to Barnard on like 121st, I think. I obviously can't talk about it. It didn't even exist when I went there, so you'll have to do your own research for that one. But Seoul Tower. So I lived in Seoul Tower as a senior. I lived in a single. Seoul Tower is probably the most desirable, like the way people talk about it. It's like Seoul Tower, you know? And it's basically only seniors. You might get a few juniors. Very rarely there's a sophomore. But Seoul Tower is almost exclusively singles. There's some doubles. But Seoul Tower, there's like an A suite and a B suite that run parallel like this. And then in the middle, connecting them across, is a bathroom with showers and toilets and sinks. So it's not like an individual bathroom for your specific suite. It's like shared between the two sides of Seoul Tower. And there's a kitchen. Lighting is really nice because you're high up, because Seoul Tower starts on the 9th floor and it goes up to 16 or 17, I think. So obviously the higher your floor, the better the views. Yeah, there's really beautiful views of the Hudson the higher up you get, if you're on the, I guess, the B suite side. And yeah, I really like Seoul Tower. You probably can only get it as a senior and maybe a junior if you have a really good number. So Hewitt, the quad, is called the quad because there's 4 sides, like a quadrangle. Is that even a shape? I don't even know. There's 4 sides and it's Seoul, Reed, Brooks, and then Hewitt. So Hewitt is mostly sophomores. It is connected to the freshman dorm area, like I said, because it's part of the quad. It's mostly singles, some doubles, that shared bathroom style for your whole floor. I don't have much to say about Hewitt. It's nice. It's directly on campus. So if you're the kind of person who does not want to be far from campus at all, it's literally on campus. Okay, and Elliot. I know very little about Elliot, but what I know about it, like my opinion, is negative just from things I've heard. So I heard that they put a lot of transfer or international students in Elliot for some reason. I don't know if that's true. This is just hearsay. So Elliot's on Claremont, so it's behind Barnard, and it's like between Barnard and Riverside. For some reason, I went walking through an Elliot suite one time, I think like sophomore year, when me and my group were trying to decide how to rank things. We did a tour and we just tried to get into all the different suites for the different residence halls, and we went into Elliot. I did not like it. It was very dark and dreary. Some of the rooms, I'm pretty sure, didn't have windows, which is really weird. I didn't love it. Some of the common spaces were nice, as I remember, but the bedrooms were not very nice, and the bathrooms were like shared style, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, my opinion of Elliot is limited, but it is negative. So I would not go for Elliot. That is my advice. And I guess what I'll leave you with is some words of wisdom. I don't even know if this is words of wisdom, but housing selection as a non-freshman at Barnard, I remember it being very stressful. You are kind of scrambling to find a group. Everyone's like, who are you living with? Oh, I need one person. What are your top choices? Just know it's gonna be stressful. It's not a fun process, and you might just have really bad luck and get a horrible lottery number. And I know this is kind of negative, but I'm just being truthful. It was a very stressful process for me, and I did not really enjoy it. It's really like, I remember even in the room when I was picking as a sophomore, it was like competition for the other groups who were right near you. It was like, click on the room faster than them, get it before they can, and it's like so stressful. I don't like it. But I think the best piece of advice is make sure you're on the same page as your housing group, because in your time slot you have a very short amount of time to click on what you want and get it before someone else. So make sure everyone's on the same page. Have second choices, third choices, fourth choices. Honestly, I would rank all the dorms, because as they disappear, like if all the 600s are gone, you can just go down your list and pick that way. Okay, so I think that is actually all of the dorms, aside from that new one, like I said, that I don't know anything about. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. If you have questions or comments, like I said, leave them below. Leave video suggestions below. Please subscribe. DM us on Instagram. We answer all of our DMs. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.